We are back. Kirk, doobsnax, Dubé, alongside Joe, OmniJoe Bernard. Game 5, Summersplash number 2, finals. The winner of this wins it all and goes home with the €1,000 purse for this tournament. TTV is going to be who we're following. Indiebear specifically. Talk to me, Joe.
Well, we've seen it all already in this first 4 games. We've seen both teams roll one another quite convincingly. We've seen some big comebacks from both of them as well. So we've seen some great defense from TTV. We've seen some great pushes from Pipchamps. They've changed up their roster again. They're sticking with how they won in that game 4. Where they're going to be remaining Cinderace instead of Greninja and Alolan Ninetales instead of Cramorant. So a few key differences with the teams as we are getting into this last game here to decide it all for €1,000 prize.
There we go. Lutano and Indy in that top lane. Pretty excited to see if old Freddy's going to push as hard as they did in the first minute of game 4 there. They were able to reel it back a little bit as Freddy and Sanji are in that top lane. Freddy pushing a little bit, a little heal pulse from Indiebear. Freddy still getting in there, using Pound, using that charged up base attack. Freddy might go down again. Lutano lets them off the hook and focuses on Sanji as Indiebear is forced to burn the eject button to get back into their base. And Sanji might go down using the score shield intelligently to get XP but get their HP back up and able to get out of there. Great play by Sanji to keep themselves from going down. And I do believe poor Freddy gets knocked out again. But they'll be back in short order for sure. Indiebear waiting on this Corphish. Really wants to hit level 4, get into that Blissey, and most importantly, get into those soft-boiled eggs. And Toon, the Greninja, is in that top lane now, meeting off with Gosu, now playing Cinderace rather than their traditional support role, as they are bullying over these bees, and Lutano goes down. We don't see that happen very often. Them go down this early in the game. Gosu couldn't have pressure on Toon, and Gosu just following them down the lane. Freddy and Sanji bullying Indiebear, who's just a poor Chansey, doing their best. And they're just trying to chip into this Apom, putting a little look at Chansey, how paltry it looks rolling next to these other Pokemon. Just, hey guys, I'm here to heal pulse. I'm here to pound. Hopefully I can get to level 4. And Lutano doing their best, but they're on the verge too. And Sanji smells blood in the water as Raboot is peeling up after they take the KO on Lutano. And they are bullying Indiebear as they're getting more points into that top turret. And not the start that I think TTV was really looking for here, Joe.
This is dominant top laning from Pipchamp. Yes, of course, the jungler has stayed top for a little bit longer, but there's been a lot of KOs. Lutano's gone down twice already. Indiebear still not able to evolve. Toon only just getting into that level 7 range as well, as we finally see the Blissey come out. But yeah, really good patrolling from Pipchamp, really not letting up at all. And as you know, Indiebear, pretty useless as a Chansey. It's finally got to become a useful unit as it is starting to roll down that bot lane, maybe trying to get involved in some Vespiquen action to get a few more points because they are still a little bit underdeveloped right now, undercooked, as it looks like Bruv and Alolan Ninetales are already here to start contesting that initial Dreadnought.
Fortunately, Indiebear is able to get Helping Hand, which again is critical in these team fights here. Zugrug sent packing, and that's a 4-on-3, as there's an advantage down here on Goof and Zug, as Indiebear's trying to keep them up, and they're trying to pressure Freddy, as Freddy's sent reeling a little bit. Indiebear sticking back in the goal zone, throwing some heals onto Zugrug, and finally Lutano and Toon pull up, and that's what you got to see. A quick level check by Indiebear there. Zugrug taking a nap in the weeds, and just waiting to see who jumps on Dreadnought first, and I think quite literally it was Bruv with a heavy slam as this Dreadnought is started, and Goof does a pretty good job of sticking on that Dreadnought. I'm interested to see if they're going to go with that strategy here. Zugrug is kind of stuck. They're forced to rest. They go down, and we see Freddy goes down. Nobody yet for TTV. Finally, Zugrug goes down. Bruv is low on HP. They chase down Sanji. Sanji goes down. Gosu, Tails, and Bruv all put on the edge here. Big move there by Toon as they're able to use their Unite move and take a big chunk of damage. Gosu finally back in the mix, and they take down Bruv, and now Gosu standing alone, trying to stand tall. And I don't even know who took Dreadnought. I think it was TTV because they were able to all of a sudden turn the tide onto Pipchamp. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, it looks like that was the case. It looked like, I think it was Goof that got the last hit in. They had better positioning, so I'd be surprised if it wasn't Goof that took the knockout there. Indiebear, Lutano, all chasing down Sanji right now, maybe trying to get some scores in while they can. looks like they really need to start putting pressure onto this turret. It looks like Blissey does get some points in as Sanji is distracted by the others. There's some Vespiquen action to steal here, but Indiebear not interested, wants to get involved in Zapdos, and that's where a lot of the action is headed right now, as Greninja and Snorlax are there.
Absolutely, rolling up top to try and give some support to Zug and Toon. As Freddy, Tails, and Bruv themselves are there. A big heavy slam by Zugrug gets all three of them and a huge block sending them backwards. And Toon really needs to get into there and start shedding some damage. Bruv doing their best to isolate their team from getting KO'd by Toon, who's a very, very aggressive Greninja. Bruv getting caught. And now Indiebear's forcing through with Bruv and turning back around to support their team. Everybody's still standing in that top lane. And as I say that, Goof and Lutano were taken out in the bottom.
Indy taking the opportunity to score. Snorlax as well, getting points in. Looks like the goal zone is going to go down. They can start focusing on Rotom as well. 25 minutes until, seconds, I should say, until Dreadnought. So they can easily focus on Rotom and then make their peel over down to that bot lane. Snorlax going to go back base. Looks like Blissey and Greninja are going to roll down, take out a few Corphish en route, but they are all getting into position for the second Dreadnought. I think levels-wise, they have a small advantage for the most part, although it does look like Zugrug is a little under-leveled in comparison to the Pipchamp team, but the fight is about to break out.
Yeah, just a block v block here. Sanji and Bruv going to put the pressure on, and Zugrug goes down, and I think that's because, as you mentioned, they are under-leveled, and although Snorlax is pretty tanky, when it's 3 levels below everybody else, that tends to make a difference. Sanji dives in, and that might cost them. It does. Lutano and Toon are able to take them down. And now where they're pushing back, Bruv is pretty low on HP too, but Toon not interested in chasing just yet. Lutano scampering all over this map, and Indiebear going to join the fray, going to maybe auto attack in. Yeah, a couple auto attacks in. A big heavy slam by Zugrug, and they're going to play some defense. Freddy and D, it's up to them to make a difference. Tails also trying to chip in, but not fast enough as TTV is able to close out this Dreadnought, and now they might try to instigate the team fight now that they get that big level boost here. Sanji goes down, Bruv goes down, Freddy is getting caught, and that's a big block by Zugrug to isolate Freddy. I think they might go down as well. No, they use the Unite move to get out. A very strong defensive Unite move to get them out of the mix. Gosu's low, Freddy's low, and Toon chased them into the lane and is able to take Freddy down again. Indy finally goes down. Look at that big block by Zugrug to keep his team from going down any further, to getting taken out any further. And Zugrug pays the price, but on behalf of the rest of the squad.
Yeah, and Zugrug did amazing work for the actual Dreadnought steal as well. Great heavy slam into a huge block, getting 3 people pushed back, enough for Toon to get involved alongside, I think it was Lutano, who has initially just scored some points on that top lane. Indiebear really pretty desperate in trying to get their 40 points in. I think there wasn't much of a better opportunity to do so. So even though it did get knocked out, it was a decent time to get knocked out for the risk of trying to get 40 points in. Because it looks like we're going to see a little bit of action in that top lane. Might be some fighting breaking out over Rotom. But there's still time here just for a little bit of farming for Indiebear. It's not very often that you see Indie just sitting away from the action, normally getting involved and helping out the partners. But looking like they really want a good level advantage here before they initiate the Zapdos in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, another critical component there of taking those Bs was making sure that that Unite move was charged for that final battle. And if there's a time you need a Unite move, it's Game 5 in the finals for €1,000. That's for sure. Indiebear and Goof both go back to base, and Zugrug does as well. Indiebear just cannonballing into that bottom goal zone, and excuse me, Bruv was in the grass there and able to block to screen Sanji to let them get away. Zapdos is here, but nobody's pressured it yet, and kind of everybody's all split all over the map, and you hate to see it. Bruv uses their Unite move, but everybody just kind of backs off and gets out of the way. Indiebear slings an egg over to Goof, and there is no real pressure, and everybody is up with almost full HP, and they know they have the lead. We saw that posted here, so it's really the onus is on Pipchamp to put a pressure onto Zapdos, but they're stuck in their own jungle. Lutano kind of bullying them all over the place, and Toon finally chasing down Tails. A big heavy slam by Zugrug, and Gosu now going to be the target of Toon and Indy. They eat a Unite move big time, and they go down, and that's a big KOs. Gosu did great in Game 4 with that Cinderace, and now we're seeing Lutano and Indiebear chasing Freddy back up the lane, and Toon is there to cut them off. Lutano gets the final shot in. Now Sanji's trying to protect the goal zone, but they can't do it with all the score shields that are going on in the 3-on-1 advantage. The chase is on Sanji. Lucario trying to prove the Lutano Lutano dominance with Lucario. Indiebear is auto-attacking Bruv, sending them back to their home base there. Every turret is closed out but the core. And you've got to think that TTV thinks they are in good shape here. As I think the only thing left for Pipchamp is a push to the middle and a prayer. Bruv gonna try and make that with a block on Indy, sending them backwards. Tails of Sonata is on Zapdos here, getting chased by Goof. Heavy slam on Gosu, easy peasy. And now we see a Unite move onto Toon, which is exactly who you want to charge up here when you've got to start picking off all the last players, and Gosu just kicking some fireballs into Zapdos. And a Unite move from right field there from the Lucario Sanji, but not to any effect, as that Zapdos had way too much HP left. A couple soft boils here is going to close this thing out. Can they get the KO on Sanji before? Yes, they do. Toon gets another notch on their belt before the time is up. This one is over, and this is TTV with yet another championship. I think they are 13-3 as a team in events they've entered. Joe, what an impressive showing. Really turned it around after that very weak game 4, and they stamped their seal of dominance onto this one, and why they're one of the best teams going in Pokemon Unite right now.
Absolutely. It was a get ahead, stay ahead job. Pretty easy for them. Got a couple of those Dreadnoughts early on, defended Zapdos ruthlessly. They were able to get a lot of knockouts there. And it just meant that Pipchamp didn't have the DPS to even get close towards that Zapdos. You could see them breaking off. It was the Ninetales running just to try and get some points in. The Snorlax was blocking the middle path, so they always had to go around, wasting time, which is always precious when you get down to that 1 minute mark. Even if you take that Zapdos, you may not even have time for everyone to score. So yeah, really good job from TTV. Very ruthless defense in that last game, and that's really what pushed them over the edge. The Rotom going down the lane, them sticking in the middle and just really packing that area meant that Pipchamp had no chance to take the Zapdos and reclaim some of those points.
I hate to say it's kind of their bread and butter play, but we've seen it out of TTV before, and we saw it again in Game 5. They went back to what they know. Take the Dreadnoughts, get that XP advantage, focus on the turrets, leave Lutano upstairs by themselves to get some points in, try and snowball that, and then just play some lockdown defense onto that Zapdos. Great use of Unite moves to be able to leverage that and close the door on Pipchamps, who also had a phenomenal showing against a phenomenal team. And I'm excited to see these two teams square off again. But this Summersplash number 2 goes to TTV, your champions and earners of €1,000. Congratulations. On behalf of Unite Mics, I'm Kirk doobsnax Dubé alongside Joe, OmniJoe Bernard, and we'll catch you next time.